And good morning. Welcome to Colona Now Live. I'm Jason Mann with Jim Check, and we'll have your 5-day weather forecast coming up in just a moment. We do have an extreme weather advisory for you. And to top the story, I guess let's talk about it. Most British Columbians are dreading winter, says a new poll.
There you go. 'Tis the season for winter storm, blizzard, severe weather, snow squalls, major snowfalls, Arctic outflow, freezing rain, hazardous driving alerts, advisories, and warnings. Not that we want to scare you, but most British Columbians seem to be dreading winter. A recent survey shows that most of us, 66% in fact, are concerned about winter storms. 52% are more worried about extreme freezing, and half are frightened of home and workplace fires. So there's a whole bunch to that story, and you can go to Colona Now and read that. Steve McNall, our reporter, did a really good job with that story. We're just sharing a bit of that, but I think a lot of people get weather doldrums, though. Do you know what I mean? Like they get, when the snow comes, especially, living in the Okanagan, you're kind of used to that, beautiful sunshine and stuff like that. When winter
Hibernate
comes,
a little bit, don't you?
So, I mean, there's a lot of us that really love the winter sports, and we're lucky to have Big White and stuff like it around here, and a bunch of other ski hills as well. So lots of outdoor winter activities, but I think it's a big adjustment for lots of people. Mm-hmm. Plus, we get no sunlight, it seems like, right? It's either cloud cover or dark. We're coming up on the darkest day too. I think that's was it
December 21st
this year?
Shortest day of the year.
Shortest day of the year. So, and then it starts going the other way. So it's going to be a little darker right now. As you can see, in the morning we're doing this news at 9 a.m.
Did you know
it's dark behind us?
It takes about 3 days though for it to go the other way. So we kind of are in a low.
Yeah, just kind of like, is it like the bottom's out there and gets stuck?
Yeah, exactly.
This one's sad news.
Yeah, man, 90 years old, hit in the head and carjacked after offering a ride to a hitchhiker in the shoe swap.
Yeah, so he, a 90-year-old man had been assaulted and had his vehicle stolen after agreeing to give a hitchhiker a ride. Hitchhiking is kind of like not really that popular anymore.
Used to be a little more.
I used to do it as a youth, and it was always kind of weird. And it was at a gas station, though, this happened. So that the senior had been pestered by a persistent man in Salmon Arm after he drove to a fast food restaurant there early in the day. The man, police described as 6 foot tall, in his 40s, hassled the 90-year-old for a ride east along the highway. The driver eventually agreed to their quest, ultimately taking him to the gas station in Sicamous. But then the man told him they wouldn't take him any further, and that's when the suspect grabbed the keys from the ignition. He told the victim to get out of the vehicle, and striking him once in the head and pushing the victim out of his own vehicle. A witness at the gas station then called police, who set up a roadblock in an attempt to catch the suspect, but that did not work.
High drama.
The SUV was found later, had been abandoned in the Malakwa area with footprints leading away from the vehicle towards the highway. Probably hitchhiking again. Suspect described as wearing a dark plaid lumberjack-style jacket and has not been identified and remains on the run. The 90-year-old victim from Salmon Arm taken to the hospital and treated for minor injuries to a face and a hand.
Well, it sounds like it could have been a lot worse,
and I think
but that's scary.
The message there is like, don't pick up hitchhikers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's it should be more popular for sure. I think it's even illegal on the freeways for sure, right? You're not allowed to hitchhike.
Yeah. But there's that part of human nature where you want to help somebody in distress, and
especially older people, right?
That's right. British Columbia Premier David Eby says a new model of streamlining access to detox and addiction treatment is on its way.
That avoids involuntary treatment too. So they paired up with St. Paul's Hospital in Vancouver, Road to Recovery initiative this fall, offering immediate assessments and team up a planned treatment and follow-up care with the aim of seamless transition into treatment and other services. And this is the part that seems to me a bit troubling. Operating 34 beds, and by March of 2025, we'll have 25 detox beds and 20 transition beds and 50 treatment and recovery beds. It seems like
for thousands of people,
a little
too little. Like we're bringing a thimble to the ocean.
Yeah, something like that. It seems way too little. Like we need to really push for more. I think. Right. I think it's probably a great model that they're trying, but but maybe figure out a way to put that into a higher priority.
Private forecasters see the economic growth in BC slowing to 0.5% in 2024. What do you think about that estimate?
You don't have to be Sherlock Holmes to come to that assessment. So again, Alberta seems to be going great guns, surplus budgets and all that stuff. It seems to have a stronger business climate, so British Columbia not seeing that same amount of growth.
And nominations are now open for Kelowna's 49th annual Civic and Community Awards. This is a big deal.
Yeah, each year the city opens up that nomination process, giving community a chance to recognize outstanding Kelowna residents, volunteers, athletes, artists, not-for-profits, business, and who have made a positive impact in there. So there's a bunch of awards there. There's the Citizen of the Year, the Young Citizen of the Year, Champion for the Environment, Corporate Community of the Year, Honor in the Arts, Teen Honor in the Arts, and Volunteer Coach or Sports Administrator of the Year. I think I was a runner-up for that one year. Coached a lot when I was younger. Coached a lot of young. Anyway, I don't know where I was going with that. Athletic Team of the Year, Male and Female Athlete of the Year. I don't think I've ever won that one. Central Okanagan Foundation's Volunteer Organization of the Year. There you go. So if you know somebody that should be honored, you can probably go to the Colona.ca website and nominate someone.
And being nominated is quite an honor in and of itself.
It is, for sure. Yeah. So there's a lot of people that do a lot of great work. There's a lot of volunteer coaches out there and stuff like that. And people, it'd be really tough to pick the Citizen of the Year, then, wouldn't it? Like, how do you come up with that? Right?
You just have to do it, I guess. Another approval in terms of buildings being put up. 105 unit this time, residential project approved by Kelowna City Council.
Yeah, I think this one has just moved to the next stage. So that's the one on 475 Dougal Road North. Looks very nice, right? Yeah. The developer is providing 112 parking stalls, which is 3 less than the city requires. So they had to cough up some money for that, and a cash in lieu payment of $32,292 to make up for the unprovided stalls. But they are providing 96 bicycle stalls, which is 4 more than the city requires. The building will also include an indoor fitness room, lounge area on the main level, indoor amenity space on the top floor, games area, lounge, kitchen and tables, as well as a rooftop amenity with barbecues, covered patio, and a lounge area. Charlie Hodge was the only councillor to vote against the proposal. He wanted more green stuff on the roof. So there you go.
Green stuff is nice.
Yeah, there you go. One thing I do notice that a lot more of these buildings come with way more amenities, and that's a good trend. I would say, like, a lot of people living in these buildings and rentals and stuff like that. It would be nicer to have more of the amenities. There's some really good examples in Kelowna of buildings that have great rooftop amenities. The one by Mission Group Brooklyn has an amazing rooftop, probably one of the nicest rooftops I've seen. And that's for the enjoyment of, the people that live in that building.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. In sports, Duncan, BC, the Couch Valley there, is looking for someone to take the world's largest hockey stick off their hands. Okay, so like you see this hockey stick. This has been a prominent fixture in Duncan for many, many years.
Is that Charo stick? The guy who's played for the Bruins?
I don't know. But if you were going to go to that building there in Duncan, they would say, "Are you going to the stick?" Like, that's what they call the building, right?
For sure. It's a huge hockey stick. It's got some problems, though. So if anybody wants it, I guess they can take a shot at owning the world's largest hockey stick. How's that for a
62 meters long.
It's been attached to the east side of the Cowichan Community Center in Duncan for 35 years and it needs a new tape job. That's a nice way to say, like, get this thing out of here. The regional district says the glue structure holding the giant Douglas fir replica stick together has decayed and must be removed to protect public safety. Oh, they could put some fiberglass on it or something. I don't know. Pretty impressive looking thing.
It is, and it's been a big part of that community.
There used to be things like that, like you go, like I think
the biggest Easter egg or that.
Yeah, that's in Vegreville, and then like in Moose Jaw has that. I think it has that big moose, right?
Yeah.
And then there's
in Sudbury, it's a nickel, isn't it?
There's some big ball of string. I went down through the States, and there's Carhenge. You ever seen Carhenge?
No.
It's like Stonehenge, but it's with old cars. Oh, jeez. In the middle of the field. So
and then there's Vulcan, Alberta.
What's that?
Vulcan,
yes, I do know Vulcan, yeah. And there was one with a giant hoe somewhere, too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, anyway.
The Kelowna Skating Club has a record-breaking weekend. Check this out. A handful of skaters from Kelowna Skate Club were off at the 2024 Skate Canada Junior and Senior Challenge.
Why don't you try some of those names out?
Calissa, Gabrielle, Emily.
Oh, that's not fair if you just do it
and Constantina. Congratulations for competing.
We're in Winnipeg. Yeah. At the 2024 Skate Canada Junior and Senior Challenge, right? And again, if you go to kelownanow.com, you can see all the names and how they placed and how they did. And then the senior level at Kelowna's Haley Sales and Nick Wamskeeter skated to a bronze medal finish.
Nice.
There you go. There you go.
My mom was a figure skater.
Was she?
Yeah.
There you go.
She won a gold medal in the first Canadian Winter Games.
Oh, well.
Yeah. Warriors snagging a pair of weekend wins and extending their win streak to 5.
Look at those Warriors go, right? So they beat Merritt on home ice, and then they played the Salmon Arm Silverbacks. So they will remain at home this weekend and host the Trail Smoke Eaters and the Vernon Vipers. Trail Smoke Eaters had a storied history as well. Right?
Big time. Yeah, great team.
It's a great
And
building.
a great
too.
legacy. Yes, of course. Yeah.
So we got some Twitter files. This one's interesting.
Yeah. So during a town hall meeting on yesterday, the CBC president, Catherine Tate, who, by the way, is American, told the CBC and Radio Canada employees that the public broadcaster will cut up to 10% of its workforce, including 600 workers. And that's going to be happening, I guess, addressing a $125 million shortfall.
And then the Canadian Taxpayers Federation pulled up this nice chart there, or put this nice chart together to show the bonuses they doled out in 2022. $16 million in bonuses, $12 million in raises, for a total of $28 million. You can see the history of bonuses and raises there. You can take your time and look at that. It's been increasing as we move along, for sure, right? Because in 2015, there was $8 million in bonuses. And in 2022, we doubled that, and we said, hey, let's just have $16 million in bonuses. So, and then there was an interview that
it's quite a honeypot.
Somebody interviewed the lady. Who would you call her name? What was her name?
Tate.
Yeah. So they asked her if there's gonna be bonuses in 2023, and she said, not at this time, that she doesn't want to discuss that because they're just not at that juncture yet. Whether it is, I'm thinking, if you're laying off that many employees, I'd say it'd be really tough to say, here's your bonus.
It's only December 6th. We don't know how the year's going to end up here.
Oh my! So that's a oh my. So I'm hoping 5th, some of the CBC employees press her on that as well and say, like, you can't be serious to consider bonuses when you're laying off that many people. I don't know. What do I know? Right?
It just doesn't seem right. That's all I'll say.
And then some other stuff found on X this morning, and then this is where inflation will probably get a bit of an adjustment downwards, because we're starting to see price drops on vehicles. We're starting to see that. This is in the U.S. Again, the stats are more readily available, but this is, what happens there will happen here too. We are seeing vehicles come down in prices, and they're starting to go. It used to be you couldn't get anything for market price, right, or MSRP.
You're on a 500.
You would see market adjustments almost everything, right? So now we're starting to see, incentives come into play. I seen even a dealership I drove by, the Ford dealership here, the one just behind on Enterprise there, and they had 0% financing. Obviously, the 0% financing is if you pay cash, you'd probably get a discount. So look at this, the Kia with a 12% price drop, the Porsche, if you're looking for a Porsche.
These are U.S. prices?
These are the U.S. drops, yeah. So I know that Stellantis has some in the U.S., some inventory over 400 days sitting on their lots. So that's like, so it's time for them, those vehicles come down. And a third of the inflation prices during COVID were driven by, get it? Automobiles. Driven by automobiles.
Yeah.
So a third of that inflation driven by automobiles. So this should actually work in reverse. A lot of auto jokes there. Work in reverse and drive that inflation down, right? So inflation is coming down. The other one that I seen this morning, which is I didn't put in here, Empire Foods, which is a huge grocery conglomerate, like that includes a whole bunch of the major manufacturers, right, like Loblaws and all that stuff. They're agreeing to freeze prices of 1,700 items. I'm just thinking, down would be better. Freezing prices at their highs seems odd. Marcy's nodding. She's just like, that seems ridiculous, right? Like, who negotiated that? We want you to freeze prices at the highs. No, we don't. We want you to drop the prices, because making record profits, CEOs getting paid record amounts of money. Again,
it's quite a thing to signal.
Think about the consumer.
We're just going to hold the prices up here.
Yeah, that was again, the government said, we want you to freeze prices. We're just like, what? Like, who's doing this negotiating? Like, who?
Aren't these prices supposed to be somewhat fluid? Like, the reason why they come down is because they've gone up too high, and now you're just going to hold them there just at the
But they also said
threshold.
They need to work together. But they just got fined for working together when they did bread fixing and you know what I mean? Like,
it's all backwards, Jim. It's all backwards.
We got some really cool videos to show you, though, in our EV AI section. And Marcy's got that cool video. Oh, this one's from Mars. That's from the. That's cool.
Is this the Chinese Mars?
No.
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 Well, they took some pictures of Mars recently.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
What about that other one that's really, really cool? This one here. This is a nuclear plane that basically can stay in the sky forever. And I think they can have like 5 sky crews. Look at that. And you can have like 5,000 people on board that thing.
Oh, no.
Never needs to land, basically. It's a sky hotel.
It looks a lot like the Hindenburg.
It's all electric, too. Well, run by nuclear.
That's fanciful, that's for sure. It's neat.
Like, that's going to be cheap, right?
Yeah.
When the Hindenburg came down, it only caused, like, small area to be
taken out. Yeah, right.
Right?
If this thing, oh my word.
If a nuclear plane
no.
crashing. I don't know. It looks cool, though.
Yeah.
The future is now.
And coming up, we should plug this a little bit later on this morning, or not too long from now.
9:30, we've got Gord Lovegrove coming in. We're going to talk energized. We're going to talk EV versus hybrid versus, and solar and all that kind of stuff. All that stuff to get you energized. You got the weather for us, though?
Yes, Colona's 5-day weather forecast for ATB Wealth. Realize your vision of wealth at atb.com/wealthcolona. We are expecting showers here in the valley and a high of 6 degrees today, down to 3 overnight. For the area today, be aware of some weather warnings. The Coquihalla Highway, Hope to Merritt, now until this afternoon, can expect some heavy rain, which may cause some increased risk of flooding and landslides, expecting 6 to 8 centimeters of rain in a pretty short period of time there. And Colona to Merritt could see freezing rain, while Highway 1 to Sicamous to the Rogers Pass could see extreme weather conditions. And so we're looking here at the summit of the Coquihalla. And did we have the other one already? Yeah, there we are. That's Elkhart there. So just a quick glimpse of what's happening this morning on the webcams. And we look out to the next few days. Tomorrow, expecting rain. This is going to be our big atmospheric rain day today, tomorrow. High of 6 again for tomorrow. For Thursday, sun and cloud and a high of 2. Might see some snow flurries in the evening starting with a low down to -3. Friday, flurries and a high of 2. Saturday, -1 with flurries. So looks like Big White could start to get some accumulations here, hopefully, fingers crossed. And of course, if you're on the roads, take care.
Drive safe. And we're back in a few minutes here with Energized. And we're also back at 4 p.m. with the news.
Until then, like and subscribe our channels, YouTube, X, TikTok, and of course, and maybe most importantly, the free newsletter that we send out every morning at 7 o'clock with all the latest news headlines to your inbox, absolutely free at colonanow.com. That's our Colona Now newsletter.
And stay safe. Until then,
peace.